Okay, um, as promised, I wanted to give you guys a quick um, breakdown of the project for A Long Day to Say Goodbye to um, to support its release. So let's get right into it. Um, let's start with the main acoustic guitar. Um, in a mix, the bass instrument is always the most important instrument, and for us, that's most of the time just gonna be like an acoustic or an electric guitar with like a clean amp on it. But as you can see, minimal processing that really brings out the natural sound of the acoustic, but still process it enough to make it sound like really clean, really nice. We recorded this with a DI input right into the interface and then right into the laptop. So it's got this dark and distant tone. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
All right, let's try.
You can see how it seems a little bit distant than like an irregular acoustic would be. So what I had to do was really bring out that naturalness while keeping that dark tone. So I started with an EQ that sounded like this. It really brings out the brightness of the guitar. All I'm doing is a low pass filter at 100. I'm boosting some of the highs at 400. I'm taking out some of the boxiness at 2000, and then boosting the highs at 10,000 just a smidge, only about 1 decibel. But it really just brings out a lot of like the cleanness of the guitar, and it takes out all of the things in the recording that I don't want to hear, but then it boosts all the things I do want to hear by about 1 to 2 decibels. So nothing crazy, nothing like 3 to 10 decibels, but it's something that just gives you a hint of it enough to really like the tone. And then I did dual compression, same settings but a different vintage compressor on each. First one's a VCA, and then no, the first one's an FET, and the second's a VCA. This is what that sounds like. It brings out a lot of the clearness, I guess, of the guitar, and then just like heightens the levels, and then just smooths everything out, you know. So that's the compressors, and then the Fat FX. All that is really doing is just bringing up some tape saturation, some dirt, and then some tube compression, vintage VCA, more compression, and then like a warm like tape sound bass enhancer. So it really just gives it like a warm feel, and then adds like a soft limiter, and that's about it. So that distortion sounds like this. You see how it doesn't muffle it, but it takes out some of the high end that we brought in with the channel EQ, and it kind of just gives it that warm like tape feeling, but not so much so that feels like the guitar is at all unclear. And then the last thing I did was the Springbox reverb that really just adds like the reverb at the end, as opposed to dirtying up everything in the middle of the guitar picks and stuff. So that sounds like this. So it keeps its clearness, but then also adds a sense of space. So that's what I did with the acoustic. And then in our last session recording for this song, we added a like a palm mute strum that emphasized just like the main chords of the regular acoustic, and then it did some like some hard strums in the chorus. So that sounds like this. Now wait for it. There it is. Oh, my bad. I love that. The guy that played guitar for this was kind of just messing around while I was mixing the everything, like all the electric guitars, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds good." So one thing that we did different in this one was that we did this one with uh, recorded it with this mic, and it has a little bit of like a darker, more like cheap feel. I mean, this thing was like $60, but it just has this like cheaper, more like characterized feel. So I used that instead of a DI just to like differentiate between tones, and but it seemed a little bit too dark, so I just added an exciter at the end just to bring up some of the brightness in the guitar. So this is a little bit dark. So it just adds all of that. Um, so this is what it sounds like together. Sometimes it's hard to tell what's in there, but I think it just lays a foundation and a base for the acoustic to sit on. And when you really hear it, it's almost like ear candy that really, really adds something to the song. Like you can tell it's missing when it's gone, but these are the two together. So yeah, it just rounds out the acoustics, and let's spend some time on the electric guitar. Um, what I did was I modeled this song after the basic um, layout of a like a CCM worship song, where you have like a big intro, and then it kind of sums it down to like percussion and some like simple drum beats, and then during the chorus it really opens up, and then during the verse it's a little bit smaller, but it still adds all of the layers that you had during um during the chorus, and then the last chorus just like opens up wide, and that's really the template that I used. So I used some of this electric during there just to add some energy, and this is what that sounds like. And I just really like the tone. When we recorded these, we hadn't recorded it yet. We were about to, and sorry, my phone. I decided to just wait. Give me a second. Sorry, this mic is killing me. Anyway, so we just finished recording the main drums, which I'll get to in a second, and I just put up the British combo amp. We recorded this whole thing in GarageBand, and then I switched it over to Logic mainly for mixing and then mastering the track, which I'll also get to, like my whole process on that. I use the same process on every track I produce, but so I just loaded it up, and I was like, okay, amp, obviously you want an electric guitar compressor, blah blah blah. EQ, it's gonna have a lot of high end, so I just kind of took it out to like save my eardrums. And then on the pedal board I'm like, okay, retro core, squash compressor, spring box, and then delay like right off the bat because I want it to seem kind of washed out. And then I was like, okay, bright long reverb, because obviously it has to ring out forever. And then finally a tape delay. And then he just records it. I have no idea what it's gonna sound like. So I just put on the headphones after he's done, and I'm like, please sound good, please sound good. And it sounded like this, and it sounded perfect for the song. And I was really surprised, but it's just incredible how it turned out. And this is the exact guitar tone that we've used this entire time. But it's just incredible. It sounds really good, and it just adds all of that energy. And then in the chorus, he used the same tune or
It's a long day to say goodbye. Comes blue. It's a long day to say goodbye.
It's a long day. Yeah.
You're my better half, it's sad. Stop going east to west, 'cause I'm going north 'cause it's bad. See things on my own, but never see the truth. My blood flows red, but yours comes blue.